Hello, good to see you again today on my program, My Testimony. Thank you all for watching my channel and for being there all the time. Thank you for sharing my videos. Thank you for the likes and thank you for the subscriptions. I'm Pastor Grace Donald and this is the program, My Testimony. Please, if you yet haven't subscribed to this channel, do that quickly. Do that quickly so you'll be the first to always see my videos when I upload them. And so you get to hear the end of this testimony. So you continue to get all our series on this testimony program. Glory to God. My last testimony was titled Life in College. If you haven't seen it, quickly click on it. And I'm sure that it will bless you so much. Today I'm continuing from there. And I want to just fill you in on, there was one of my testimony that I said something about my educational life in terms of my beliefs when it comes to taking an examination. Yes, I talked about my belief when it comes to taking an examination. I said something about not talking during examination, not copying, not spying, no expos according to what we understand expo to be. Okay. But I have friends, I've always had friends who at one time or the other may not be as, understand, as intelligent, what's the right word to use now? Yeah, they may not be at the same level with me. And then because of my closeness to them, the friendship, I'm not a wicked person, so there's a tendency to want to help, you understand, during examination. And I also talked about how I spent my money when I came back from the UK, and I went back to school. Now, I want to let you know that our God is faithful. Yes, He's a faithful God. I told Him that I don't want to be stranded when I made that vow to Him. And He saw me through school. Yes, God saw me through school, both in my college of education and in the university. All levels of education that I've gone through, God saw me through. I did not lack the money, the needed funds. I did not lack it. It was always available when it was needed. Yes, we know that, and that's, for example, in Nigerian institutions are compulsory. It's compulsory to get handouts. And how was I able to cope with that, with my financial situation? I got all my handouts right, especially the ones that are compulsory. There are times that lecturer will tell you, well, I'm not saying it's compulsory, but if you don't buy, you will understand. Some say it to you straight that it's compulsory, while some pretend that it's not compulsory, even though it's compulsory. You understand how it goes in the Nigeria school system. I got all my books. Yes, I got most of them late, at least towards the exam when I know that they can, victimize me. I get them before the exam starts, at least shortly before the exams. So how do I study before then? I have friends. I've always had friends. I'm very short. I'm the type that has plenty of friends. So the same thing happened in school. I have friends in school who buy their handouts as and when due, as a right time, as it's coming out. Yeah, it's short before it even comes out. Some of them I've already paid ahead, I had good friends like that had money, and they were not stingy either. They always brought it out. There are some that would just buy and then say, Grace, take, read it and come and teach us. That was how I studied. There were times that my friends would buy books, their handouts, give me, I would go study, especially the literature textbooks. I'll be the one to read it and then I'll come and tell them the story, and I'm a good storyteller, as you can see from my from my testimony program. I'm a teacher, so I know how to talk, and I can garnish stories in a way that it will interest you. Some of those literatures are very kind of boring, and some people are not just good with reading, they don't want to read, but when you're gisting them, they'll like it. So I know how to read, and then I'll come and gist them. So what I do for my friends that are very close to me, knowing fully well that I cannot cheat during the exam or answer them during the exam when they ask me questions, what I do for them is, as they buy their books, they bring it to me or I ask for it, I study it, and then I give them tutorials. I do tutorials for them. And then when I'm going to read, I call them to come along with me. We read together, me and my friends that I'm really close to. I have friends that were close to me like that were not so sound academically. So this is how I help, I do my part, you understand? But when it gets to the exam, they know that they cannot ask me. So I study with them, I give them tutorials, I explain to them over and over as many times as possible. I am not stingy with that. I'm not stingy with knowledge. The only thing is that I just won't cheat during the examination, and I just won't talk during the examination. But before the examination, I have all your time. I will teach, I'll give tutorials, I'll study with them. You can ask all the questions you want. I can do it over and over again, no matter how slow you may be a learner. So that's what I was doing for my friends. And then during the exam, I still had one or two few friends that, in spite of all the tutorials, it wasn't still sinking well. And then what I do for them is I make them sit with me during the exams. Sit with me. I don't cover my books. I don't cover my book. I don't know how to write and cover. I'm the type that I write freely, just that I don't talk. That is the difference. So if you sit close enough, you may be able to peep and see and write. Just don't mistakenly tell me, I'm not true, don't turn your page. That is when I'll catch you that you are copy, and then you'll be on your own. But the truth is that my friends that are very close to me, I give them time. I write, I leave my book, and I allow them to, to copy with sense in a way that they won't put me in trouble. And thank God, most of them, all of them, they were smart enough not to put me in trouble. They don't copy word for word, they still use sense to rearrange. So at the end of the day, they may not get everything, but at least they'll get something that will help them to be able to pass and not repeat that course. So that's what I've been doing for my friends in school. That's those that you understand, that are very sharp by faith. And that's what I do. Okay, and I don't think that's a sin. But to come and be talking that is what I don't do. And then my textbook, like I said, God saw me through school. And through my friends, some of my friends even got textbooks for me. Yes, I had good friends like that were able to afford that. Some of them got textbooks. Some of them gave me money ahead of time to buy the textbook. And when I had the money, I returned it to them. But majorly what they did for me was they buy it, I read, we study together, and in the end, I end up with all my textbooks new because I hardly read any of them. Because before I bought them, I've already read the ones from my friends, and at the time I buy them, they are no more what I need to read because it's probably very close to the examination, so I don't need it anymore. But I still buy it just for the sake of avoiding being victimized by lecturers. All right. So, when I was leaving College of Education, Care the Law, I handed over my position as the Bible Study Secretary to 2 persons. Yes, before my time it was 1, and during my time it was also 1 person that was Bible Study Secretary. What was your duty as a Bible Study Secretary? You are in charge of all the studies that has to do with Bible study. We had Bible study once every week then. And then what you do is you create an outline of teachings that will cover the 2 semesters that you're going to be in school. During your tenure, and the tenure is always in your final year. You get to be an ESCO in 9th in your final year. Before then, you can just serve in any unit, and as an ESCO, you can still be serving in a unit. And then I think there's something about a restriction as to the number of units you can serve in 9th. This is to help you not to overburden yourself, so I can still have time for your book. So I think it's stipulated 2 units maximum or 3. I can't remember for sure, but I know there was a law that restricted you not to serve in all the units, so you can still have time for your book, because the primary reason for being in school is to study. So, and I like that about 9th. So I handed over to another lady, and then I got another brother to be the assistant, because the workload of a Bible Study Secretary is really tight. You have to draw out an outline, and then you have people with you in the units that you send out during the cell meetings for Bible study. The cell meetings hold in the different hostels, different rooms, we group it like that. It's like little cell meetings. Maybe this block we have one, the other block we have one, like that. Then those are off campus, so we organize for them. So we send a teacher from the Bible study unit to each unit, each set to teach. And then we also have time to sit together and do a pre-study, a preview, before we now go and teach others. Then take questions and the rest. It's an interesting one. It was an interesting one. And it's an opportunity to dig deep into the Word of God and get it exposed one-on-one, because you're in a small group where you can easily open up. All right then, so that's what we did. So in my time, I got out a book. We always do that anyway, a book where all the studies for the year will be put into. I still have a copy with me. Hallelujah. You may get support from other ESCOs that, because, among ESCOs, there are some that will be close to you, because we are very many, about 20 something, considering having 12 sisters outside the brothers, so you can know how much we were. And then there are some that are very close, the ones that are close, like your own personal persons inside the ESCOs. We have things like that among ourselves too. So you may have close friends among the ESCOs that may want to help out. They can suggest topics for you to, or even write outlines, to support your topics for the year. So from there, you can also add to it, but the bulk load of the work is on you. And you write your outline based on the theme. You get a theme and all that. So that was it. And we did that by the grace of God. And we came out of it and handed over successfully to another set who also did well. I believe that until your successor do well, you have not done well. In short, we believe so in IFES. So even when you are out, you still have to support your successor. You have to guide your successor to do well. You understand? All that they need in orientation. We orient them before you finally hand over to them. You orient them and you have to give them all that they need to succeed. And we did that, and my own predecessor did that for me too. So you have to also pass the baton on. And then there was one wonderful thing that we did as NIFES ESCOs then, as NIFESians then. There's this godmother, godfather thing, we give children, those that are just coming into school, you hand them over to somebody else to take care of. As in somebody that's been on ground becomes like a mother or a father to them. I had a lot of children then, and I'm still very much in contact with some of them to date. You have to follow them all to make sure that they are doing well, both in their studies and in their attending fellowship, in their spiritual life. So you become a mother in the fellowship. So when they are calling you mother, it's not just by mouth, it's by the work that goes with it. I think I even had up to about 12 children at a time, and people were like, I don't know whether I even had the highest of all the children, I can't remember, but I know I had plenty children under me. And by God's grace, we were able to do what we are supposed to do for them as NIFES mamas and papas. So that's for that. Then, to my love life. Literature has always been my best subject. I did one subject in literature. We did one course in literature as an English student. That literature course is like abstract literature. Abstract literature. It's a little difficult. It's actually difficult. It's like writing as in the abstract. I don't know how to put that. So it was one part of literature that was very difficult for the English students to cope with. But I've always loved literature and I've always enjoyed literature. It was kind of easy for me, really kind of easy for me. And in the class, I find myself, sometimes it just be me and the lecturer talking in the class. I don't easily answer questions to be noticed in the class, because in school, I deliberately hid myself from being noticed with lecturers, because I have this notion of lecturers victimizing students, wanting to sleep around with them and all that. So I wanted to avoid that by all means. So I was not really close to any lecturer. What brought me close to the lecturers I was close to was my academic performance. Just that. Yes, that's Spanish. All right. So there was this course that brought me close to this particular lecturer. Whenever I give him the class and he's talking this literature, people are like, oh God, what is this? What is this? It's not sinking. But I was getting it somehow, by God's grace. I was getting it and I was enjoying it, because I would read the books. People will say they don't understand the novels. I read it and I understand it, and I was enjoying it. And I come to the class and I ask questions, based on what I read. And the man is like, thank God at least somebody is following, you understand? So it gave him courage that thank God somebody is following. But he too agreed that, well, it's one aspect of literature that is really difficult to comprehend. So sometimes most of the students came to me to do that kind of tutorials, to help out, because it was really tough for the student. Everybody was complaining about this particular course. To tell you how difficult it was, when we were going to write the test, the lecturer will give you the test questions ahead of time and tell you, go and read this. It's not like he's saying, go and read this area of concentration. No, it's not area of concentration. He will set the question word for word and say, these are the questions for the test. Go and study it and come back and write it. He will give you ahead of time. And then we'll still come to the class and people will still fail woefully. Question that has been given ahead of that was how tough it was. The same thing happened in the examination. He gave us the exam questions ahead of time to go and study. And then people still came and failed and you repeated. That's just to explain to you how hard it was. So we wrote one test. The first test that we wrote gave us questions like that, and we went to study it and we did it. I came out and my score was really good. It was really good to the point that he wrote on the script, "See me." That's the lecturer. He wrote on the script, "See me." So when the script came back and I saw my script and I saw "See me" on it, I saw my grade was really very good, very impressive, and others were like, how did I make this point? How did I make this point? And I explained to them, although they weren't so surprised, because in class I was really following that course. So because of the "See me," I went to see the lecturer, to find out why he wanted to see me. I saw the lecturer and the lecturer was like, he's impressed to see that at least one person in all is getting this thing, that he's surprised at my scores. It was really impressive. And then he wanted to see who this person was. That was the first test he gave to us. I wanted to see who this person was that is following him, so at least can have hope that somebody is not just talking for nothing in the class. And that was how we got to meet, we got discussing, and then I had an opportunity to discuss with him again based on the test. And then I was like, for me, I don't really know why people are saying it's difficult, but for me, I'm enjoying this subject and I love it. I've always loved literature. I know we got talking, and because of that, we became friends. And whenever he has a test to mark or assignment to mark from other groups, from my group, or even from other courses that he's taking, he would just call me and say, come and help me in the office. We are not friends, so if you can visit. He told me you can come to my office. Before then, I stay away from men. And truly, before then, as a Christian, even when I'm walking on the way and you say, "Psst," I don't look back. Because, if you know what I mean, when boys or men say, "Psst," they want to ask you out, they want to, they want to woo you, they want you to be their girlfriend, they want to, you know what they want, you understand? So my kind of training, my SU training, my Christianity background, I don't listen to "psst." So even if you're a friend and you were calling me for other things that is not that kind of talk, you will not get my attention until you call me by my name or use any other better means to call me. But when you say "psst," like boys do to call girls on the street, I don't look back, because that is not me and that cannot be me. So before then, I have never kept any boyfriend. I never had a boyfriend all my life. Yes. And I don't believe in the boyfriend thing. I just believe if you want to marry, get engaged and marry. That's all. And I believe you want to marry from your friends, people you already know. So you don't need to do boyfriend and girlfriend to study each other, to know each other. Marry from your friends. That is my principle, and that is what I've always done. So I never listened to "psst." I told God I want to marry when I'm 23. And until that 23, I did not listen to "psst," side talks. I want to be your boyfriend, I want to be your girlfriend. If you approach me nicely without, all those rules or worldly way of calling people, and then I discover that you want boyfriend, girlfriend thing, I tell you, thank you, I'm not interested, and I walk away. I don't insult people, and I encourage everybody not to insult people when it comes to relationship. Somebody gets to stop you on the way, and then he's talking about relationship, and you're not interested. Kindly, politely, without being rude, say you're not interested and walk away. Because it's a privilege for somebody to even stop you and say you're beautiful, I want to be your friend. You understand? There are some people that are praying for somebody to even stop them and say that to them, even though they may not agree or they will agree, because they don't have that privilege. So if you get that privilege of people stopping you, don't insult them. I have heard of people insulting people just because a man, sisters insulting men, ladies insulting men just because the man stopped them to ask them out or to woo them on the way. I don't do that. I will not answer yours or your any rude calling that signifies what you want to do. But if you are bold enough to approach me nicely, politely, and tell me what your intentions are, I will simply tell you, sorry, I'm not that type. I'm a Christian, born again for real. I don't play around. When I want to marry, I will marry. But until now, I'm not even ready for marriage, so there's no point even starting any relationship that will lead me to sin. So I avoided all relationships until that time that I told God I want to marry. You understand? So I became friends with this lecturer. I'm going to the office, helping out with the marking, helping out, and then sometimes just going to discuss literature, you know. It was fun. We're getting along so well. There's no time again. I don't want to keep you too long more than this, so I'll continue in my next talk on how it went. Stay with me to know how it went with this one first relationship that I ever had in my life. So I'll tell you how it went, okay? Then and that will be in the next video. Please remember to subscribe so you'll be the first to see this video when I load it, and I'm sure you're going to be blessed, okay? So I just said something about studying with my friends and how I avoid cheating in school, you know, not talking during the examination. In case you are wondering, I'm supposed to show love. I think you better show love in that way that I did, you know, studying with them and maybe helping out. Just open your book, let them look without you saying look, you know, all those kind of things. With style, just help out without actually showing that cheating thing, you understand? And then I talked about how I coped financially. There are times I couldn't afford. God saw me through school. Yes, I couldn't afford my books at the exact time, but God is never too late. At the nick of time, I always ended up having it. I was never stranded. I got all my books in the end before anybody could even think of victimizing me with the books. So God took care of me. I believe He was faithful. He is still faithful, and that He came always at the nick of time, and that is never too late. I never lacked any book to read all through in school. He brought people around me that took care of that made sure that they gave me books to read. Some even supported me financially. That was God working for me, just based on that one vow that, Lord, don't let me be stranded in life. So He came through for me, and I believe He will come through for you too. You don't have to put your hands into evil to support yourself in school. I didn't come from a rich family, yet I didn't have to do anything bad to support myself through school. Help always came because my hope was in God. If you trust God, He will come through for you, and He will make sure that you don't have to do those rubbish that so many people do. I was in school in the hostel, and I see people misbehave, all in the name of my parents can't afford my school fees, or can't take care of my books, can't take care of my upkeep. But I didn't do that. God took care of me, made sure of that. And I believe that He will do the same for you also. So you don't need to go that way. Our God is a provider. Our God is a faithful God. Do the needful, obey Him, trust Him, and He will come through for you. And then for relationship, you don't need to curse anybody that stops you on the way to woo you. Be nice, be friendly. You don't just know where that right man may come from. Your attitude is very important. Keep it right on life's journey way. So God bless you. Thank you for joining me on today's broadcast. Till I see you again. Keep having awesome testimony in your walk with God. Bye.